So if you're not creating as much as you like, or you're not creating at all, one of the things that is bound to be stopping you is fear. You might not look at it like that. You might think that, no, it's something else behind it. I'm not scared of anything, but we are. In the end, fear is behind a lot of the things we don't do. So how can we identify and overcome this fear? Well, first step is always going to be observe. So observing what's going on, and in particular, your personal narrative, this internal narrative. What are you telling yourself? What are those things in your head that are your beliefs, or what we call introjections? Now, introjections are ideas and beliefs that have come from other people, that have become part of us and what we think and the way we do things, but they're not really necessarily how we think. So being aware of what are those things that are in my head, and also thinking about limiting beliefs. Which of those beliefs are limiting me? Because there's usually a fear associated with them as well. So we identify that, we observe what's going on, and we try and sort of label it in one way. Okay, that is a fear of rejection. That is a fear of this. We're almost putting these little fears on a bookshelf behind us so we can see them, we can look at them, and we're not afraid or shameful of them. And once we've got them and we accept them, we start thinking, well, yeah, okay, that's there. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me a bad creative. It just means I've got them. Like everybody else, we all have a shelf full of fears that we pretend we don't have, but we really do have. And the second stage is this acceptance. Now, acceptance is not going to come from one day to the other. So it's all about looking at them, if you like, looking at them straight in the eye and saying, okay, this is my fear. This is the one thing, or these are the few things that are really holding me back. And these are the ones that I want to help or hope to overcome. So what do we do with them? Well, we start with that fear. We say, okay, well, I'm afraid of what people might think. And using the yes and I'm going to create something anyway. That doesn't mean that you have to show it off on Instagram, or you have to have a massive exhibition and show it to everybody. You can just do things a little at a time. And that would be the fourth thing that you need to do, is to really think about how you're overcoming these little by little. Tends to be that we don't get on that well by throwing ourselves into the swimming pool and putting ourselves into a really difficult situation, contraphobic situation, where we're afraid of something and we go and do the opposite and go straight into it and make sure that we are putting ourselves in that difficult situation. Mostly, for something that works and something that becomes sustainable, we need to do things little by little. So what can you do now that is a little bit scary for you, but it just pushes the boundaries a little bit more? And that could be things like doing a little creative exercise per day, signing up for a painting course, an online one if you like. Nobody even sees what you're doing, and you can just start learning and start playing and whatever. So just doing little things at a time. And also being aware of that process, being aware that this is a process. It's not something you're going to fix from one day to the next. And it's also something that you can enjoy. You can focus on that process and how you move forward and how you're overcoming the fear, and just kind of give yourself some credit for it. So being a little bit grateful to yourself for those small steps that you've taken, that they may look tiny to someone else, but for you, they were quite big and they're quite important. The final thing you want to do is to try and find the fun in it. Find the fun, find the play in what you're trying to achieve. You're trying to get more creative, or you're trying to improve your painting, your acting, your speaking, your business ideas, whatever else. Find the fun in that. What's the bit you really enjoy? It's not supposed to be an arduous task you hate, because if it is, it's going to be very difficult for you to continue. So with all of those, you should just start working with that fear, almost dancing with it rather than just ignoring it. And you've got it on the shelf there behind you as well. So, you can look at it and go, it's not so bad. It's just there. It's part of me and I'm working with it. So that would be how you would start to overcome whatever fear is behind your non-artistic state or your non-creative state.